So for the case in which the line with the equation 2x plus 3y equals 9 is perpendicular to AB, find the value of P. So this is part 2 of question 2. So in question 2 they stated that A is the point P in 1, B is the point 9 and 3P plus 1. And they say now that AB is perpendicular to this straight line here. So all we need to do is find out what is the gradient of this straight line. And then from that information we can find out the gradients of AB. And then we can form an equation in which we can solve for P. So working with this straight line over here, if we make y the subject and get the equation in this form, y equals mx plus c, we can then find out what m is, which will be the value next to the x, because this is the gradient. So making y the subject here, you have 3y is equal to, if we get rid of the 2x from the left hand side, take it to the right, we have minus 2x plus 9, and then we divide by 3 in order to get y by itself. So the equation of this line, just in a different form, is y equals minus 2 over 3x plus 3, and we can see what the gradient is now. The gradient of this line is minus 2 over 3. So now, if we know that the gradient of one line times the gradient of its perpendicular line should always give us minus 1, we can then get the gradient between the points A and B. So we can take m1 as minus 2 over 3. If we multiply it with the gradient of the perpendicular line, which is the gradient of AB, we're going to say is still m2, equals minus 1. And now if we just divide both sides by minus 2 over 3, we're going to get m2 as 3 over 2. So this is the gradient of AB. And you can just check by eye, minus 2 over 3 times 3 over 2 does give you minus 1. So that works out. So now all we do is we just make an equation knowing that the gradient of AB is 3 over 2. We would just get the gradient between points A and B as we usually would, and just make it equal to the gradient, which we know is 3 over 2. So the gradient of AB, we know is 3 over 2. So the gradient of AB is going to be change in y over change in x. So we could say 3p plus 1 minus 1 for change in y, over change in x, which will be 9 minus p. And we know this must equal 3 over 2. So just to simplify, 3p plus 1 minus 1, this gives you 3p. 9 minus p stays the same, so it's equal to 3 over 2. And now we just get p by itself. So if we divide it by 9 minus p here, to get rid of the 9 minus p out of the denominator, we've got to multiply both sides by 9 minus p. So we have 3p on the left-hand side is equal to 3 over 2 times 9 minus p. And then to get rid of the 3 over 2 on the right side, we can divide both sides by 3 over 2. So that's going to give us 2p on the left-hand side is equal to 9 minus p. Get all the p's to one side, so we've got minus p on the right side here, so we're going to add p to both sides to remove it from the right. So we have 3p on the left-hand side is equal to 9, and we get p is equal to 3. That's the answer.